I asked my little girl when I was cutting my hair if I should cut it all off or just cut it like I normally did. And she said cut it all off, so I did. And then she asked me why I did it. But I kind of missed it already. Here we are stopping to get something to drink before we head to the Stave mill. We're both kind of craving a popper. I know I was. I don't know about him, but he's always happy to have them too. He likes those cherry L8s. So it's not too far from us. We get on the interstate when it doesn't take too long to get there. There's a railman. I see them every now and then. U.S. Express as well. I've also worked for Snyder, but I'm not showing any footage of that on the channel at all. But yeah, here we are heading to the Stave mill. That guy had a load of logs there, and it was a really busy day. It surprised me. As you can see there, as we pulled in, there were 2 full trailers that had just been loaded coming out. And then when I got in, there was a guy with a dump truck and another guy with a trailer, and then another dump truck came in. Actually, see, there's 2 trailers there. That one guy's pulling his with a half-ton as well. Got a Hemi in that Dodge. I've not had the one with a Hemi, but the 4.7 would pull that just fine. So I'm sure that Hemi has no trouble with it. The only problem is when you've got that much weight, if you put a lot on the tongue, you know, it can be rough there on the bumper of the truck. But this man here with that dump truck, that's about the size dump truck I'm thinking of getting. And I'm wanting it even more after talking to him. I actually got out and walked up and talked to that man. You'll see me here in just a little bit because I wanted to ask him about the insurance. There I am. And he was very friendly and gave me a lot of good information. Made me even that much more, you know, my desire to have a dump truck go up that much more talking to him because the way he explained it to me is you can get farm tags. And I looked it up online, and to get farm tags, you just have to have some sort of livestock or something like that. And we were thinking about getting goats and chickens anyways. I've always, a lot of times, had chickens, so I'm going to try to do that, and that should qualify me for farm tags. And the insurance is actually really cheap. He said for liability, he paid, I think, $100 some every 6 months, which is really cheap. So, and look at that size of that dump truck. He said he comes 3 or 4 times a week there with that truck to get it filled up. He's retired, and then he bought him that dump truck after he retired, and he delivers gravel with it as well. But he said the farm tag takes care of all of that. So that's what I'm intending to do, you know, if I get one. And now I'm wanting one more than ever, you know. So it's either going to be investing in that or maybe towards a piece of property this year. I don't know for sure which path I'm going to choose. I have to see come spring. But as you can see here, I'd never seen dump trucks get loaded. They're not big ones like this. And as I was sitting there, another one kind of pulled in front of me, and then another pickup truck pulled up behind me, and we kind of just sat there and wait. I wonder how many loads that thing can hold right there. I wonder if it can hold quite a bit. Because he said he comes here 3 or 4 times a week and gets that thing loaded. He gets farm tags, so I never thought of that. So I'm glad I asked him that because that's very valuable information for me when I get a dump truck. So that's awesome. Just look at how much easier this makes it, though, you know, with that dump truck. Because all he's got to do now is, you know, either take it to a customer, because he told me he sold to some people like that with the wood just like that. Said that he had sold to an Amish family or something and was that very day, and he just dumped it the way it was without even splitting it. Now, here's another truck that pulled up and kind of got in front of me, this dump truck here, which is fine because when that loader's back there, they're not always back there, the guy with the loader. He's only back there when somebody with a trailer or a dump truck needs it, and then all you got to do, I don't know if you call them or if you go up to the office or what. Maybe you can do either way. And then he'll come back there with that loader, but they won't load a pickup truck, so you've got to do that by hand, as you've seen me doing. And it's just far less efficient. I'm still making, you know, profit by the time I do everything, but not like I would with something like that, you know. That size right there, a single axle dump truck, is exactly really what I'd want. I thought about smaller ones, but after talking to him and learning about the insurance, that right there is really what I prefer, honestly. You could get so much more wood, and you could do mulch and stuff as well. Now, I met these guys here this day, and I talked to them for quite a while. There were 2 younger men there, and then another man in the truck with them. And I was surprised when he got out, because I asked them if they minded if I set my camera up. And I know people always probably wonder why when I ask them that, so I just go ahead and tell them, yeah, me and my little boy, we've got a YouTube channel. And anyways, I asked them, I said, do you mind if I set the camera up, and told them why. And they said, yeah, no, that's no problem. And the guy that was with them, he got out and was talking to me. He said, yeah, I watch you on YouTube. And I said, really? So that was very interesting to me. That's the 3rd person I've met at this Stave mill that watches us on YouTube, and that's very neat. And we're just regular, normal people. I mean, I'm really, we're country people, so we ain't and not wealthy by no means. Lower. I don't know what you even lower middle class or whatever. And then ain't too worried about that. I just want to provide for my family and be happy and spend time with my family as well. But anyways, we decided to split here as well. So I let them use the Fiskars too, because they had them all with them, and they said it was really dull and they was having trouble with it. And I said, try this out, and I let them try the Fiskars, and they seemed to like it pretty well. But for all the people that say white oak is so easy, I've been getting comments about that. Nah, white oak can be easy, and white oak can be extremely tough too.
Well, last time I come down, met two other people that said they won. That's pretty neat. Firewood, I guess. Bluegrass up there. Yeah, he's out there with me. Nothing easy. Tough round, ain't it?
As I was saying there about white oak, though, it's not a wood that I've ever looked at as an easy splitting wood by any means. Some of it's actually extremely tough. Now, if you get rounds that aren't real big around and they're straight grain and everything, yeah, it can split pretty well. But a lot of times, too, even after you split it, you've still got to grab it with your hands and tear it apart because it's so stringy. But anyways, as you can see, it's a decent size round of wood right there. And they're back there splitting as well. And it was nice talking to them. They were real friendly. Those two were younger men, looked to be in their 20s to me. The other man was a little older than me, looked like, or I'm not sure what his age was exactly, but they were all friendly. And it was good to talk to all of them. And they said they had a wood burner. That's what they were coming there for, was to get their own wood. So as I was saying before, lots of people burn this wood just as it is. They come in there all winter long and get this stuff and burn it the way that it is. It seems to me to be mixed. I've advertised wood in the past as seasoned because I've had seasoned wood and I've advertised it as such. But now I'm not advertising this as seasoned. I'm just saying, white oak firewood for sale, and I put my price on there and everything. Like a guy today asked me about it, and I told him it was mixed. Some was seasoned, some not so much, and which is, from what I can tell, the truth. I've seen some of that. It seems to be pretty dry actually, and then some that seems like it's pretty wet. So. I guess some of it they let sit there a while before they use it or something, and some of it maybe is more fresh. They have stacks upon stacks upon stacks of logs. They're big white oak logs, and everything that comes in there is white oak is what they use for these whiskey barrels. But now Ronald did get something from there once, the slabs, and they were extremely tough, and some rounds from it, and they would not hardly split. Actually, I think it was only slabs, and we cut them in half and then tried to split them, and it was almost like sycamore, whatever it was. So he said they probably accidentally slipped it in, or either they snuck it in and it got through. But it's all that I've seen there personally is white oak as far as I can tell. But yeah, it can be some tough wood to split. Very good firewood too, white oak is. As I've said before, one of the best we've got in Kentucky. I hope you all had a good Christmas. Me and my family had a real blessed Christmas, and my mom got the kids some presents as well. We got them a bunch, and they had a really good Christmas. It's just a blessing to sit around and watch them open them. But this day was really nice, too. I was actually sweating pretty good. I told one of the guys there, I said, I actually wish it was colder right now, because I like splitting when it's colder. This day was probably 50-some degrees. So I was pouring sweat. And they got them a load over there as well. And then I stayed a little longer than they did because some vehicles pulled up. You can only really fit 2 vehicles in there at a time. Now, if they moved that back row of pallets there, people would be able to access that whole pile of wood all the way down through there, because it goes way down through there. But there may be a reason they do that. Maybe they only want a couple in at a time, for a reason. But so what you got to do is, the people that come after you, like me, I sat there and waited on those dump trucks. They've got to come and sit there and wait too. But once they pulled out, the guy with the loader came up to me, and I asked him, I said, do you need me to move too? And he said, if you can just move over a little bit, I can get beside you here. And so what I did was I pulled up a little bit and then got as close to the left side there as I could. And then he came in there with that front end loader and started loading a trailer that was out there. They had a big, looked like a heavy equipment trailer, and he loaded it down. And then another smaller dump truck came in there, GMC dump truck, and he loaded them while I was getting my wood. So but yeah, there may be a reason why they don't open that up to where people can access that pile all the way down through there. But every time I go in there, the wood is pretty much the same. It's never really shorter. Like the stack, that big stack of wood, it's always refilled. So they're always getting rid of it. And like one of the workers there told me today when I was talking to him, he said, if people didn't come and get it, we couldn't hardly get rid of it. So we're glad to see people come in here and get it. And the dump truck driver that I talked to, the one that said he come out there, 3 times a week, the older man, he's retired, but he does that now. He uses that dump truck to make income, and firewood is one of the things. But he seemed like a regular there because they all seemed to know him, the loaders and stuff. They were talking to him. They were all very friendly guys. I think I talked to 3 or 4 of them on the forklift and one on the loader. The loader's the bigger thing that you see with the buck. That's what I'm calling it. I don't know what you call that exactly, but the forklift too, sometimes when they're coming back there, because they come back there periodically with a dumpster, and if you've got a trailer, they'll dump that dumpster right on your trailer if you want them to. And so today they did that actually in that dump truck while me and him were talking. They dumped that one load in his trailer, and then after that he went up there and the loader loaded him the rest of the way. But I was kind of sitting there talking with Carter about that dump truck and looking at it and thinking, I talked to him about it before. Imagine me and you, driving around in that dump truck, how fun that would be, and just how much more efficient it would be with firewood. I talked about before having 50 cords of wood here, and I could do that. I'm confident that I could. But with this place here, and with that dump truck, I'm very confident I could probably have even more than that. The only thing is having room to put it all, which we're on 2.5 acres here, so we got room to put it. But still, 50 cords of wood takes up a lot of space. 100 would take up a whole lot of space. But it's also a lot of income too. When you're all you got to do is deliver it, Because as I said before, LIHEAP, that program that I mentioned before, where you deliver to companies that qualify or families that qualify for it, they as soon as they send them to you, you only got around 48 hours. Or at least in January and February you do. In November and December, I'm not so sure, but working through them, November, December, January, and February, they keep you very busy through those months. And that's not counting what you do on your own, And you have to do it on your own, too, because I would, because you've got to have gas money as well to get by. And it takes them around, I think, a month or so before they send you a check, which isn't a big deal if you're doing it on your own, too. But you couldn't be completely reliant on that. But the thing is, you get a good check from them when you get it, So, and you can do your county and the surrounding counties. You just write your name down on what counties you want to do. And what they do is, from what I understand, is they give your customers a list. You're known as a vendor, a firewood vendor. And they give the customers a list of names and prices. Your price for a full cord of wood is what you're supposed to bring them. And your price, and then they get it from you, and they tell you whether they like it or not. Sometimes they do, and you'll know as well, because sometimes they won't pick you for the following month, because they have a choice every month to pick from that list, if I'm not mistaken. And I had delivered to a guy here a while back, an older man in Powell County, which is a county right next to me, not very far away at all. And me and Ronald had delivered together. It's one of my recent videos. And that guy actually requested me. He said that they only had one guy in that county, which is Powell County. They said they only had one vendor working for them to deliver through LIHEAP, and he said that guy brought him some wood that he wasn't happy with. He said he liked the wood that I brought a lot better, which is this stuff right here. And he asked, and I told him my name, and he told his son. He said, write that down. He said, I'll ask for you, if you sign up for LIHEAP. He was telling me I should go do it. So I reached out to him and asked him about that. And they said, well, it's already too late for November and December, but if you want to sign up for January and February, you can do that. And so I'm thinking about doing that. Let me know if you all would like to see something like that too, because it would be some really good content. They may have something like that in your area, but it keeps you very busy with firewood, and it pays pretty good too. You put your price of what you want for a full cord. And if it's like a county over or something, you can put a little extra there for gas if you decide to. But something to keep in mind is you will be competing with other guys in that, because their prices will be there too. But also, you're not just going to be competing in price. You're going to be competing in your personality and the wood and all that stuff, The other day, me and Carter delivered to a man, and that's what I was talking about, with Carter. That man ended up paying me $40 extra for the load of wood. And I told Carter, I said, see, it it really pays off if you sit there and take the time to talk to people sometimes. And as I said before, there's a limit to that. But it means a lot to people to just take the time to listen to them and talk to them sometimes too. And it really pays off, And that's really how you can build a good customer base too, I found. From lawn care and landscaping too, I actually had a really good customer base in lawn care and landscaping. So there are times that I miss that a little bit, but I want something that's, I guess, a little bit more pay for the drive, And which, if you have route density in lawn care and landscaping, you can have that as well. Here me and him are talking. I think we're talking about YouTube because he was talking about that other guy that was with him. Maybe he's trying to start one, and I was telling him, all the great things that have happened since YouTube. And as I've said before, I don't agree at all with how the company is ran necessarily, but just the platform itself, I do enjoy many aspects about it. And one of the main aspects is how that you're able to meet people that you otherwise never would have met. And that's why I was telling them about how that we've met people and people have given us stuff and everything, take their time to, to comment and stuff, all those things, because I was telling about that Adler there, how that had come from YouTube, and the Fiskars as well, that I let them use because I let those guys use it. You see there, he's got it in his hand. I think he's about to give it back to me there because they're about to head out. But they were very friendly guys, and said he was going to look up the YouTube channel as well, which if he doesn't, I won't hold it against him by any means. Not everybody's into firewood. He asked me why I did, and I told him, I said, pretty much it's split wood, which is mainly what we do, is split wood and deliver. I like the whole firewood process, really, of delivering and bucking, splitting, loading, everything. This year is so much different because we've got this stave mill. It's changed everything. So I've noticed that people have been liking these videos quite a bit, though. They've been getting a pretty good amount of views at this old stave mill, so I'm happy with that. And maybe the dump truck will help as well. Maybe y'all be more interested because that'll make the business, it'll just make it so much more efficient, Rather than going and getting $200 worth of wood in one load, I'll be going and getting $600 to $800 worth of wood in one load. So it'll be, save me time and gas in the long run, and which is huge when you're trying to run a business. So I definitely wouldn't mind, trying to elevate the business a little bit and making more money, especially with me having a family and now doing this full time again, because I am doing it full time this winter. There's a smaller dump truck that's in front of us. I initially thought about getting something more like that, but honestly, after finding that I can just get a farm tag and get a bigger one, and you don't have to have your CDL, which I do have, I'd really rather have one like the size that you seen earlier getting loaded. I could just deliver so much more with that, and gravel and mulch and topsoil and all of that, So I'm really interested. Let me know what you all think about it, though. There was a load that we got, and here we are heading home. I hope you all had a Merry Christmas. This video is coming to an end, and we had a really good one, a blessed one. Thank you all for all the kind words and everything. We truly appreciate it. It's nice to meet you guys at this stave mill if you're watching. Be safe and God bless.